Hey everybody, this is Joel Toppin, and this is the latest game that showed up yesterday. This is from Lock and Load Publishing. This is Eisenbach Gap Deluxe. It's the first game in the World at War series, but it's been redone in something that they've called a deluxe package. It's got new cover art, and I'm not sure about the cover art. It's rather... I mean, it's not bad. It's just it doesn't match anything else in the series really, except maybe the latest new game, which was America Conquered. But well, what are you gonna do? I liked kind of the motif they had with the original. But here's the this is the box for the deluxe edition, and let's take a look inside. Okay, first thing I see is 4 dice here that are definitely not deluxe in their feel, but oh well, dice are dice, and I got a ton of nicer dice. So, okay, rule book. Start in the back just to show you how long the rules are. Really, the rules for the system are pretty straightforward, and the core rules will take you up through page 12. So you got about 12 pages of rules, and then the rest are scenarios. Several of the scenarios here, let me go ahead and run you through some of these. Okay, so here are the number of scenarios that you get with Eisenbach Deluxe. You get 6 scenarios for the Eisenbach Gap game, and then you turn it over and there's the Death of the First Panzer. Now this is what makes this a deluxe package, is they've built the expansion Death of the First Panzer into Eisenbach Deluxe, which is very nice because the two games really did mesh together really well. So you have all the scenarios that came with the original Eisenbach Deluxe, Eisenbach Gap, and Death of the First Panzer. So there's another 6 scenarios, I think. So total 12 scenarios in here, as well as your order of battle info and full color rule book. Again, these are not difficult rules. Lavishly illustrated, kind of a chatty rules writing style, which frankly I kind of enjoy. A little bit of a difference from some of the other things. Like I said, it's a pretty straightforward system, really easy to learn. Okay, one other thing I've got was I pre-ordered this from Lock and Load, and they did send me an additional 2 scenarios for the pre-order. So 2 bonus scenarios. Looks like they both use the Death of the First Panzer map. Got a couple play aids here, charts and tables. Not a lot of chart checking in the game. There's a terrain effects chart, which you probably consult more than anything else, chart related. So if there's a chart you're going to look at, it's going to be this one more than anything else. There's a lot of numbers on the counters. This chart here will tell you what those numbers do. And I know some people may have difficulty with the font. It's small. There's a lot of info, but I've not had a problem with that. So, and again, it's one of these for each player. You have 1 counter sheet. That's right. It's only 1 counter sheet. So if you got America Conquered, this is a much smaller game in terms of number of counters. But I think it's every bit as much a amount of fun and value inside the package. So, whereas America Conquered, I think, is really overloaded with counters, this one here, you're going to be using these counters in a lot of the different scenarios, and there's not quite as many of them to punch and sort and all that. So you don't spend a lot of time. I guess what I'm trying to say is you don't spend a lot of time hunting for pieces to set up for a scenario. So the scenario is set up, I think, faster than the America Conquered scenarios do, and because it's easier, to quickly find the pieces and get them on the board and get the action on. So there you go. Now these have kind of a linen finish to them. They're thick, so they have the same quality feel that you had with America Conquered. So if you got that, this has got really nice feel and definitely a step up in quality from the original Eisenbach Gap. Got 2 maps in here that are mounted on like a thick card stock. Well, it's thicker than the original for sure. It has a full mounted board feel to it. Let me put it that way. So here you go. The nice thing about this, they have a turn track on the Death of the First Panzer map, which the first edition did not have, and the color distinction between the hills in this new edition is much easier to read than in the original. The original, the green color tones were too close together. I think it was maybe a printing error or something, but it was really hard to tell where the hills stopped and started in the original game. Much easier to read here. I'm not going to fold this one out. Well, maybe I will. It's hard to do this with one hand. Hold the camera and move the map around. Here we go. So here's the Eisenbach Gap map. It's the same that you had with the original game, but it's on a full mounted board feel. It's got kind of a linen finish to the back of the board. So it's the same thing you had before, only a little bit better quality to it. Alright, so that is Eisenbach Gap Deluxe. Now the question is the Deluxe package worth it? If you own, Eisenbach Gap, the first edition, and you've got Death of the First Panzer, what is it about this set that makes you want to buy it? Well, not a lot, really. The only thing that jumps out to me in terms of, wow, this is Deluxe, was one thing, the map for Death of the First Panzer is definitely an improvement. And probably the counters. The counters are nice. Really nice. So, if that's really important to you, then yeah, go for it. Take the plunge. Downside to the Deluxe edition, and it looks like, I got a bonus scenario, for pre-ordering. I don't know if everybody gets these or not. I just pre-ordered a month or two ago, and so I don't know. One thing I don't like is the box. The box is definitely thinner. It's the same kind of same size box as America Conquered, and there's no way you're going to be able to put a counter tray in here with the thicker boards for the map and everything. With the first edition, I could put a counter tray in there, and I could put the map for First Panzer and all the rules for First Panzer. I could put that all in there. So that's a downside here. On the upside, you have everything in one package. You have the rules to Eisenbach Gap and First Panzer all in the same rule book, which is very nice to have. You're not fumbling between two different things. So I'll let you make the call as whether or not that's worth it or not, but I'm happy with it. And so that's World at War, Eisenbach Gap Deluxe, and that's what comes inside the box.